The White House crypto meeting is over, but the most important line of the entire event may not have come from Donald Trump. It came from the chairman of the CFTC. Michael Selig says that on Thursday, his agency will reveal more details about its regulatory roadmap for what he calls the new frontier of finance. And that changes the question. The SEC moved Tuesday. Trump turned up the pressure Wednesday. Now the CFTC gets the board Thursday. What exactly is Washington building here? Welcome to Realm of Crypto, where we take the loudest narratives in this market and stress test them. No hype, no price calls. We follow the moves, separate speeches from actual authority, and update the board when the facts change. Start with what happened today. Trump brought regulators and major financial and crypto executives into the White House and told Congress it now needs to take the next step by passing a fair version of the Clarity Act. SEC Chairman Atkins was there. CFTC Chairman Michael Selig was there. Leaders from Coinbase, Kraken, Robinhood, and major traditional exchanges were in the room. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse was also reported among the attendees. But listen to the sequence. On Tuesday, the SEC proposed Regulation Crypto Assets, its new framework for certain crypto investment contracts. Wednesday, the White House tells Congress to move Clarity. And Selig tells the room the CFTC is not sitting around waiting. His message was basically this: if Congress finishes the Clarity Act, the CFTC is ready to implement it. But until then, the agency intends to use the tools it already has. Then came the line, "I am watching." Thursday, at the CFTC's first Innovation Advisory Committee meeting, Selig says he will give more details on the regulatory roadmap. That could be the most important setup of the week, because the real question is no longer, will Washington regulate crypto? They are regulating crypto. The question is, how much of the framework gets built by agencies before Congress finishes the law? And this is where XRP holders need to separate the headline from the structure. There was no XRP-specific regulatory announcement today. Trump did not declare XRP a commodity. Selig did not announce a special XRP rule. That is not what happened. What did happen is potentially more important long-term. The two regulators that could shape how digital assets operate in American markets are moving at the same time Congress is trying to define their lanes. The SEC has now put an actual crypto proposal on paper. The CFTC is about to show us more of its roadmap. And the Clarity Act is supposed to answer the larger jurisdiction question: which digital assets fall under securities law, which fall under commodities oversight, and who regulates the market around them? So here's the question nobody should skip. If the CFTC starts building aggressively before September 15th, what does that tell us? Is Washington simply preparing the plumbing for clarity? Or are the agencies creating enough of the framework themselves that Congress starts losing leverage? That is the stress test. Thursday, I am watching 4 things. 1. Does Selig announce actual rulemaking priorities or just principles? 2. Does he identify specific areas where the CFTC believes it can act right now without new legislation? 3. How closely does the roadmap line up with what Atkins is already doing at the SEC? And 4, do we hear anything about spot crypto markets, exchanges, perpetual products, custody, tokenized markets, or the line between securities and commodities? Because if we get concrete answers there, the board changes again. Tuesday was the SEC. Wednesday was the White House. Thursday could tell us whether the CFTC is preparing to become the second half of an agency-built crypto framework. And Congress is still sitting behind all of it. Trump told lawmakers today to pass Clarity. Selig said the CFTC stands ready to implement it if it becomes law. But he also made clear that the agency plans to keep moving in the meantime. That is the story. Not XRP magically getting a green light overnight. Not one meeting fixing crypto regulation. It is the architecture being assembled piece by piece. Quick disclaimer, this is information and entertainment, not financial advice. Crypto is volatile. Always do your own research. And before Thursday's roadmap comes out, I want your prediction. Does the CFTC announce something concrete enough to move the regulatory board? Or is this mostly another policy speech? Put it below. We will come back and grade it. This is Realm of Crypto. SEC Tuesday, White House Wednesday, CFTC Thursday. The board is moving fast. See you at the next stress test.